Hi, I'm continuing on with the program here. So far I'm picking up one of the months and the earnings for that month. But what I need to do is to build in a loop so that it will actually ask for the month, ask for the earnings, and it will do this for a number of months. I ask him here, how many months do you wish to process? And I do know that he wants to say process 5 months. So I want to do this bit of the code 5 times. And because I know exactly how many times, I know it's a fixed loop, so I can use repeat with, and I need a little counter variable. So I think I'll just call it counter equals 1, 2. And I want it to go all the way around for the number of months. So I'll just copy this, put it in there. And if I press enter, live code automatically gives me the end of the loop. I'll just show you that. So I need to take this code, I'll just cut it, that's Control X, and I'm going to drop it into that loop there. Control V, and I'm going to press Tab, and you'll notice that everything lines up and it's been indented to show that it's inside the loop there. So I should find that counter goes round 1, 2, 3, and so on, all the way up to however many months he entered. But I've got a new variable here, so I'm going to do Control C to copy, and I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to paste it in, and it's counting, it's going 1, 2, 3, and so on, so it's an integer variable. I could write these all out in one line and separate them with commas, but I'm going to do it like this just so that you can see it more easily. So you should find that in fact it's going to ask for several months. So let's just see that working. I'll do Control S to compile, and you'll remember that translates these instructions into machine code. So I'll click on Enter Earnings, and I'm going to process 3 months. And the name of the month, well, let's say we'll do May. That goes in there. And let's say he earned £1,000. June, oops, forgot the E. And let's say he did £1,500 for June. And July, let's say he was on holiday, so he only earned £100. Now you'll notice that they're overwriting the other data so that we're actually losing the other information. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change that to after, and that means that they should come one after the other in the field. And before I go into the loop, I'm going to say put empty into that field. So I'll just copy this, just to clear the fields out each time I run them. So I'm going to copy that, paste that in, and I'm going to do the same thing. Let's just copy that, paste that in, and press Tab just to tidy this up. There we go. And that will clear those 2 fields for me, and then hopefully the month and the earnings will come one after the other. So let's just see that work. I'll go Control S to compile, to translate, and then how many months do you wish to process? Let's go 3. June, let's say he earned 1,000. July. Now do you see what's happening here? They're coming one after the other, but they're on the same line. So I'm going to cancel that and come back into the code, and I'm going to specify that I want a new line taken. So I want it to press return, if you like, after each month. And I'll do the same thing here and return, and that way I should see them coming one after the other. Oops. So again, I have to compile it, translate these new instructions back into machine code so that the computer can run it. So I'll press Enter Earnings, and it's asking me how many months do you wish to process. I press 3, and then as soon as I press enter, I should see that those fields get cleared. There we go. So we'll go June in £1,200, July £4,000, August, let's say he really went on holiday and he earned nothing. So we now have a program that displays the data, but I need to do the total earnings. And I'm going to have to do that inside this loop so that as I go around getting the earnings for each month, I'm adding them onto the total. So down here, I'm going to say put. Now the earnings that he's typed in has got to get added onto a total. So I'm going to add it to a total that I already have, and I'm going to put that new value back into total so that the next time round it keeps increasing. Just check I've got here. Oh, I called it total earnings. So I'm just going to copy that and paste that down. Oops, there and into there. And that's a common mistake to make, is that you have variables up here that are called one thing, and then you start using different words down here, and they're not necessarily the same variable at all. Now, before I get going on this, I really should initialize. That means give an initial or a starting value. So I'm going to put a starting value into total earnings, and then here I'm going to put my total earnings into this field down here. So I'll just click on this field, and at the moment, well, let's call it total earnings. I'll just tidy that up a little bit. It's not the name of a variable in here, it's the name of the field. Again, I'm going to Control S to save my program, and that translates it into machine code. So I have a start value for total earnings. It should add on the earnings as I go around the loop, and then at the end I can say right, let's just see if that works. So I'll enter the earnings. I want to process 3 months. Let's go September. He earned £1,300. October, let's say he does £2,500, and November, bit of a slow month because it rained a lot. I'm going to say £900. Okay, and you'll notice that the total earnings has gone into this field here. And I'm just going to finish up by calculating the average earnings. So I'm going to say put, well, obviously I need to divide my total earnings divided by, and it's going to be divided by however many months I've got there. So I'm going to put that in there, into field, see what I'm going to call this one here. Let's copy that, and then down here okay, let's see what that does. So I'll enter my earnings. Let's just do 2 months this time. So I'll say February, if I can remember how to spell it. Let's say he earned £1,100, and March was a good month. Let's say he earned £3,500. And let's just see there, we've got 2 months and it added up to 4,600, and the average earnings is 2,300.